The Plagues, based on Exodus chapter 5, verse 1 through chapter 10, verse 29.
Moses brings God's message to Pharaoh.
The Lord, the God of Israel, sent me to tell you this. Let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness.
I don't know your Lord, and I certainly don't have to obey him. Now get back to work. I'll make it harder for the slaves by not providing the straw to make bricks. They will have to find their own.
The people of Israel blame Moses, and when he complains to God, God only tells him to visit Pharaoh again. Though Moses is sure Pharaoh will not listen to him, he obeys.
Have you come back to beg for mercy?
No, but to show you the power of our God.
Aaron throws his staff to the ground, where it is transformed into a serpent.
Very clever. But my magicians can do the same thing. See?
But while Pharaoh watches, the serpent of Aaron swallows the serpents of the Egyptian magicians. Though disappointed, Pharaoh refuses to admit that Moses' God is more powerful than the gods of Egypt. Again, Moses asks for God's help, and again, God tells him what to do. In the morning, Moses and Aaron meet Pharaoh on the bank of the Nile River.
Don't you have anything better to do than bother me during my morning bath?
Because you won't let God's people go, the river will be turned to blood.
At Moses' command, Aaron strikes the water with his rod, and the water turns red.
My sorcerers can do the same thing.
If they're such great sorcerers, why don't they turn the Nile back into water?
But this they cannot do, and the Nile remains blood for 7 days. The Egyptian women are unable to wash their clothes in the bloody river. Men have to dig wells to find drinking water. Finally, the river is clear again, but still, Pharaoh will not listen to Moses' plea, and so God sends a different plague.
Frogs! Millions of them! Everywhere!
Even in the palace.
I can't stand these filthy creatures. Send for Moses and Aaron. Ask your God to take away the frogs, and I will let the people of Israel go.
It will be as you say.
But when the frogs are gone, Pharaoh breaks his promise. So God proceeds with his next plague. God torments the Egyptians with a plague of gnats. They infest everything. The Egyptians can't get them out of their houses, their hair, even their beds. Pharaoh tries to bargain with Moses, but Moses stands firm in his request. Once again, Pharaoh promises to free the people of Israel. But when the gnats are gone, he hardens his heart again. Then God sends a plague of flies. Flies are in everything, but no flies trouble God's people.
Can't you worship your God here?
No.
Okay. You can go.
But like before, Pharaoh changes his mind. Then God sends disease upon the Egyptians' animals and livestock. Many of them die, but Pharaoh's heart is unyielding. God gives Moses his next instructions. He and Aaron interrupt Pharaoh's court and throw soot in the air. Immediately, Pharaoh and his advisors break out in painful sores and boils. The rest of Egypt is struck with the same disease as well. But Pharaoh stubbornly refuses to recognize God's power and authority. Still, Pharaoh keeps the people of Israel in Egypt. So a terrible storm strikes.
Our crops are ruined.
Throughout the land, the Egyptian farmers watch the storm with terror. but no hail falls where God's people live.
I have sinned. Lord is right, and I am wrong. Pray to the Lord for us. We have had enough of the hail, and I will let you go.
But just like every other time, once the plague is lifted, Pharaoh changes his mind.
How long will you refuse to humble yourself? Let my people go, or I will send locusts to destroy anything that's left alive in this land.
Pharaoh's advisors agree with Moses.
Please, just let the Hebrews go already.
Don't you realize that these plagues have left Egypt in ruins? Already, it will take us years to recover from them.
Fine. Go worship your Lord. Who are you planning on taking?
We will take our young and old, our sons and daughters, our flocks and herds.
No, just the men.
Locusts it is.
God sends locusts, which devour anything that wasn't destroyed by the hailstorm. Then, when Pharaoh's heart remains hardened against God's people, God makes the day as dark as night. But the worst was yet to come.